old are you?
I'm 28. So what?
Hey, listen, time out. Listen, her face, Mel's face, and when y'all watching this on the playback, just look at Mel. Her face said, "Oh," like listen, she couldn't hide it. Her face said, "Oh."
She patting his back.
That's so crazy that y'all think 28 is young, man.
She just burped you.
Oh my God.
Literally, you with the super pat and that regular rock.
Exactly.
28 is not that young.
I did
That's
not
what
know
it
this was
is.
going here.
So how is that?
How old were you when
Okay,
you got
wait.
married? If you're only 28, how old were you when you got married?
21.
Wow.
Married at 21, divorced at 24.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
can't
You
breathe.
went through a lot very early.
Very
Yeah, I
right.
see.
I
I
did.
see all the residue now. I see it.
Hey, but what y'all don't know, it has been made a law in all 50 states that once you've been divorced for 7 years, it fall off like a credit report, like a repossession. Once you've been divorced for 7 years, yeah, you can say that you've never been
Like
married.
it
Or
never happened.
yeah, absolutely.
I wish
Absolutely.
the
You
credit score
still got
reflected that
time
way
to
too.
start fresh then.
Yeah.
I wish the divorce falling off reflected on that credit score for real. All that hit that I took because you know what? Like I said, that's a different.
Uh-oh.
Now I see why you're so jaded.
What do you mean jaded?
Because
No.
like you talk about like
Mm-mm.
I can
What? The divorce was my fault.
You cheated?
that's not
Like
what
a
I'm talking
motherfucker.
about.
She's not talking about that, but I feel like
That's not what I'm
that's
talking
that
about.
mud.
say that.
Go on, step
Say-
in the mud. Come on.
parking lot it. That's another episode.
Listen, I really want to unpack it, but I want to move.
Unpack it.
Unpack it. We got another topic.
Minutes.
We got another topic to talk about.
We can just cut this motherfucker into two different. Okay.
He wants
got
to
another-
share. This might be his therapy.
You know what? Hey, we
called
can.
therapeutic
Therapeutic rap.
Hey, listen.
I told Jay that.
Let's go. Let's unpack it. Let's
Rub
unpack
his
it.
What y'all want to know? What y'all want to know?
Miriam, go ahead.
Guns is loaded. Who's
Let's
shooting
go.
first?
Come on.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Miriam.
so what you mean you was cheating? Why you get married if you was cheating?
So I found a girl.
Hold on, before you say anything, this episode will air.
Right. We're not yeah.
What
I'm listening.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, let's go.
When I got married, I found a girl who I thought I loved, right? I thought I was in love. But in reflection, in reality, what I found out, of course, after the divorce, and I actually sat down with myself and analyzed, like, why did I do the things I did? Why did things happen the way they did? I found out that it wasn't that I was in love with somebody. I was in love with the idea that somebody loved me. So I got married. I was in a relationship for all the wrong reasons, right? All the signs and all the red flags of not doing this was there. Bypass them shits, right? We started off as best friends. She told me multiple times I would never date you. I would never date a dude like you. And I was just like, nah, I'm different. You know what I'm saying? Until I finally, you know what I'm saying, got her to agree. We started dating. We was dating for about 2.5, 3 years before I asked her to marry me. The way I asked her to marry me was a red flag in itself. I was on deployment and I sent her a message on Facebook asking her to marry me. That's a red flag. She said, yeah. I mean, fuck it, cool. I'm happy, right? Cool, whatever. We got married in the courthouse. Nobody knew about it except my parents because we was in the courthouse in the state that they lived. But throughout the entire time, I cheated while we was dating. I cheated when we got engaged. I went home on leave, got married, came back that weekend, cheated. And I never knew. I still don't know why I cheated. I can't give you an answer. I can't tell you. I can't pinpoint whatever it was. Right. And I'm not gonna make excuses for why I did it.
Therapy.
No, I don't need therapy. I'm straight. It's just I just felt like I could have my cake and eat it too. And still being young, that's part of it, and I never really had like a real relation. That was my first real relationship. I had done like all the little high school relationships, the little quick flings in the military, stuff like that. That was my first real relationship. So me having the background that I came from of not really being sought after or admired or liked like that, like I thought that this was probably going to be the one and only chance I would have somebody who did love me. I'm not about to, what I'm saying? But once I locked this down, I was like, man, I'm still getting clocked. Well, you know what I'm saying? And it also didn't help the fact that I was still stationed in Japan. She was living in Cali. So 8,000 mile difference is like, whatever I do, she's not going to find out about. And it is what it is. But I don't regret any of it. I don't.
Okay.
What?
Not to cut you off, but it looks like Miro has something to say.
There is so much to unpack here, but what I will say, to be concise, is that now I understand your current perspective, because you still have self-directed resentment for messing up what could have been a forever for you. And I say that because you're like, yeah, I cheated, I messed up the marriage. But then when you actually explain the story, all I hear is sadness. Like literally all I hear is like, yeah, I knew I was wrong and I could have had somebody to love me forever. So now you back out here in this pissy pool and it sucks. Oh, it sucks bad. But you had to learn those lessons, which is what we do in our early 20s. Like in your 20s, for some of us in your 30s, you're still learning those lessons. But now I understand why you come from the direction that you do, because you had it and now you don't have it, and you understand the magnitude of that.
I wouldn't necessarily say I had it. I think it was more so the fact it was a good situation at the time. Hindsight being 2020, we were never supposed to be together. I should have listened to her when she said that she wouldn't date somebody like me. Like we just didn't
I'm
mesh.
confused as to how she told you that and then accepted your proposal.
Because he ran her down. He said it. He said he didn't let it go. He was like a dog after the
Man, I'm sorry, but I don't give a damn. If I don't like you like that, I don't like you like that. I'm not accepting no proposal just to be like I'm married. Nah, that ain't.
Yeah, but think about
this.
what your mindset was in 2019.
Yeah,
your mindset was different.
Then anyway.
Well, I want to say this.
Well, I mean, everybody's different.
And I say this with all sincerity. It sounds like you were insecure in the relationship because you already knew she didn't want you. And you didn't care that she said she didn't want you. You said, I'm going to have her. But in the midst of saying I'm going to have her, created an insecurity within you. Because now you got to figure out why she don't like me. And it's not like now you're trying to get her. You're trying to have her as opposed to her liking you and giving herself to you. And in that, you start cheating because now you need to validate yourself. So I can get validation from all these people because the one that I do want ain't validating me. Well, she gave me what I wanted, but she did not really give me what I wanted. And you really wanted her sincere. It's like, I want to be with you. I love you. I like you. And I think somewhere in your subconscious, you knew she was never going to give you that.
Let me give all you guys a little secret, right? And you may know it, you may not. Despite what people tell you, despite how people want to portray things, the majority of times that a man cheats on a woman has to do with self-esteem issues and insecurities. It's not the woman females, you couldn't have loved them more, you couldn't have done anything better or whatever. It's a feeling like, hey, someone else likes me. And as men, like me, being a man is hard. Like women compete, but they compete up front. Men compete like in different ways. Like we might be like, oh, buddy over here got all the chicks, I'm gonna outdo him or whatever. And it becomes a thing like, oh shoot, somebody in third grade said I had a big head, so now I'm subconscious about my head for the rest of my life or whatever. And when you go on these conquests, in that moment you feel better about yourself, but it doesn't last. So now you need another conquest and another one and another one and another one. And that's I think maybe Chris found himself in that cycle at that time. But hey man, it's not unique to Chris. It just happens to be that he's the one sharing the story right now.
Right.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
childhood was rough. Bullied a lot. I heard everything, seen everything. And like I said, nobody was calling my number, right? I wasn't the kid that was swimming in homecoming and prom dates.
Me either, believe it or not. But
Me either.
continue.
So I wasn't the one. Like
Me neither, I guess.
it was a struggle. And it was like that as long as I can remember from my childhood. Even when I got to high school, puberty hit, like it changed, but it didn't change enough, right? Like there was always something, right? And I graduated high school, got to the Navy.
That late bloomer syndrome when
it was like a switch flip.
When he became the man late, and then it
got some money in his pocket.
Listen, I don't know what it was. I got down to Florida out of boot camp. I was able to grow my hair out. I was able to get
something about military. The women flying, be wanting to get.
They got some money. They got money.
So that's let me dispel that other myth.
We broke a shit.
We really didn't have money. We just didn't have to pay for housing.
I didn't have no bills. All I had was a phone.
It appeared that we have money, but listen, my first check in the Navy was less than my last check at Chick-fil-A before I went to the Navy.
Sheesh. Yeah. So
that's sad, actually.
But yeah, so
got for real.
Got to the Navy, a switch flip, and I was starting to get all this attention. I was like, me, ugly duck, me, and this is like, it was crazy because it was just like, and this is I was talking about earlier, like the persuasion skill. At that point, I don't know where it came from. It just became easy. I don't know if it was because like they was easy or if I really just like ended up creating a persona or a game for myself and I was actually winning. Whatever it was new and it was different, right? So from this point, right, from A school all the way into my entire naval career, right? I'm winning. That I can do no wrong. Even if I do get rejected, that's cool because she been eyeing me all night. So I'm about to go get her anyway, right? So it was like this is different. And I think what Jay said, I've never heard it like that, but I think it kind of holds true because it's like, man, I'm making up for what I thought I should have had this entire time, right? Like I'm enjoying this attention, but at the end of the day, I still want somebody. I still want to be loved. I still want somebody to love on, and then I found that in her. And so, yeah, it sounds crazy when I say like I kind of wore it down, but the relationship was actually, I didn't cheat off rip. The relationship was actually good. It was a good relationship. The vibes was there. The feelings was there. It was mutual. Like we really ended up dead liking each other. Like, and I was like, okay, cool. Now I got that. This is still going on over here. I was like, damn, I could still play around in this playground because I already got this secured over here. So I know that as long as I come back home, I got something to come home to. Terrible way of thinking. But that's how I thought.
Well, again, backstory, because my story is a little different, but to take a kid that's 17, 18, 19, 20 and put them in another country by themselves without their support system, that loneliness will have you looking for love from anybody. You understand what I'm saying? So even though you have someone back at home, you don't have a connection to them where you can physically see and touch them or whatever. So anybody will do, because as humans, we want to feel loved and give love, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine being 20 in a country where no one speaks your language. It's tough. Like, I was there at 20, so I know. I got engaged to a girl I didn't even like.
I was in a foreign country in my 20s by myself
But what's crazy is I wouldn't.
How long were you there?
for a year.
Yeah. So year one was cool. Year two was cool. I got engaged year 3 to a chick I didn't even like.
What's even crazier about all this is I wasn't even going after the women of the country that I was in. I was going.
Ain't nobody messing with them Japanese.
All Navy women. I was dealing with all Navy women.
Mine was an Air Force chick, but she cheated on me with a white dude she met on Black Planet. Can't make this up.
Not Black Planet.
Hey, listen, man. Listen, you can't make it up.
That's wild. I hate that for you, brother.
Hey, listen, it didn't bother me at all.
Jay said, "Thank you for taking it off my hands."
Right. But I definitely hear you, Chris, and I appreciate you sharing, first of all. Like, you really made things make a whole lot more sense. And I hope that it's, helping you make sense of things so that you can break that wall down, because your wall,
to that, I wanted to reply to
chip
that
it away, please, so you can find somebody that can love you for who you are. Because you cannot stay in that damn room, in that damn house, and expect to find the next one that will actually love you for who you are, because you have got
to get out.
to trust yourself, forgive yourself for being immature.
I did.
No,
it definitely
still sad. So you still have some work to do.
No. Okay, check this.
It's okay to have work to do.
We see the residue.
Everybody got work to do.
Listen. Let me explain. Right. The reason why I'm so forward with it, because one, I'm not one to run from the past. Right. Once I sat down after the divorce and realized what the problem was, I addressed the problem. I stared the man down in the mirror. Right. I was my own therapy. This is why I kind of say the therapy I do need is not for this. Trust me. There is therapy that is needed, but it ain't for this.
But you'll be surprised, because for you to say that it's not for this, but something streamed you to get to that point. So you have to unpack it all. You probably don't think that it has anything to do with what you went through, but I guarantee you sit in somebody's chair or do virtual whatever, I guarantee it's gonna all make sense.
If you or someone you know.
It wasn't the divorce that put me on this path, right? It was the relationships subsequent from the divorce. Everything between then and now.
So here's the thing, guys. Like, I really, really, really want to keep this going, but we've reached our time. We have. First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching and listening to us, man. We really appreciate it. Please hit that like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, man, so you know when we release new content, which we'll try to release something daily, at least every week, but we'll try to release a little something daily. Therapeutic Rap on YouTube. You can email us at therapeuticrap@gmail.com. Therapeutic Rap 189 on YouTube. Therapeutic_rap on Instagram. Am I forgetting something?
We got a TikTok.
Therapeutic Rap on TikTok. Yeah, there we go. We ain't posted much on TikTok, but we coming. Pause.
No Diddy.
No. Y'all childish. Again, man, every week we don't get to everything that we want to get to. That means the conversation is going good, and I'm okay with that. Next week we're gonna talk about Chris Brown, because he dropped some heat, and boy didn't he drop some heat. But we're gonna get to Chris Brown and what he got going on. But again, man, we really appreciate it, man. You guys have a wonderful week. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.